like the singular bar.
Zigzag.
Yeah. Okay, friends. Welcome to Yoga with Judy. We're going to start with a little seated meditation just to get grounded, get into the moment, into yourself. So ground through the base of your seat, sit in any position that's comfortable for your legs to be seated for a few minutes. Lift up through the heart, through the top of the head, and let the shoulders relax down away from the ears. Scan your awareness throughout and notice how you are feeling. What's the overall quality of energy, the quality of mind? And what sensations are present for you right now? Let the breath grow longer, deeper, fuller into your belly on the inhale. Let it be a stretch from the inside out. Let the belly relax and expand. The sides of the body, the low back, relax and expand as you breathe in. And on the exhale, start to engage the core muscles to send out, wring out every last bit of old air. Continue in this way, deep breaths, expand the torso, and then all the way out. 4 more long, big breaths in this way. Let that awareness and connection with breath, body, sensation stay with you as you invite some wiggles into the fingers and toes and flutter the eyelashes to a soft gaze. Bring the arms up overhead, reach tall, and then reach long through one side of the body and then the other. Do that a few times. And then press through both hands together, interlaced up through the palms. Reach tall. And then let the hands float down. Bring the soles of the feet together, knees wide. Hang on to your ankles or feet, wherever it's comfortable for you. Keep your body stiff and steady between 2 panes of glass, just your neck is going to round. So on the inhale, lift your chin, look up. And on the exhale, tuck your chin to the throat and bow your face towards the heart. Only the neck is rounding. Keep moving with the breath. On the inhale, look up, lift the chin tall. And on the exhale, round the neck. Soft bend in the elbows to traction the shoulders down away from the ears. Last one. And inhale back up to neutral, seated. Release the legs long and wide. Long and wide into a V. Inhale at center. On the exhale, walk the body into a comfortable forward lean. Lift the head and heart halfway. Walk the head, heart, and hands over to the right leg. Keep the right hand grounded on the right leg. Open up your left hand and heart towards the sky. Use that top arm to help pull you back up. Reach tall through both sides and back down to the middle. Then bring your head, heart, and hands over to the left leg. Keep your left hand grounded. Open up your right hand and heart to the sky. And top arm helps pull you back up. Reach tall through your hands. Bring your hands back behind you. Generous lean back behind you. Point your toes. Inhale to prepare. On the exhale, push into your hands, push into your heels, lift your hips and squeeze your glutes. Look up to the sky and lift your heart between your shoulders. And slowly bring it back down. Inhale to prepare. 2 more times on the exhale. Lift. Crunch the belly, squeeze the glutes. And slowly bring it back down. On your next exhale, last one. Dig into the heels, grab at the floor between your heels, and then slowly lower back down. Bring your feet around to back behind you. Come onto the back of the mat, farthest away from me. Sitting onto your heels. Hands right in front of you, widespread fingers. Start to create a gentle rocking motion. Push off of your tops of the feet to bring weight towards the hands. Slow and gentle. And then when you're ready, walk the hands forward, one hand's length, and rock again a few times, warming up the range of motion at each distance. When you're ready, one more hand's length. As you start to bring the hands more forward, you're going to bring your weight all the way towards the fingertips and sit all the way back into extended arms, child's pose. And as your body comes into a longer, straighter line, it's cobra stretch. Squeeze your glutes into it. Don't just drop the hips, but squeeze your glutes into pressing the hip flexors open. Last one here. And finish in extended arms, child's pose. Lift your head and heart to look at the mat between your hands. Widespread fingers, grab at the mat just a little wider than shoulders distance. Start to slide your head and heart low and forward like a serpent. As the weight of your heart comes over your hands, push off of the arms to long, straight arms. Tuck your toes under until you're in a high plank. Lower down halfway to the elbows. Squeeze your glutes, maximal glute squeeze. Don't drop your hips. Lift your head and heart forward and up. Lift the hips up into the air, push off of the fingertips, down dog. Lift your tail way up to the sky. Squeeze your shoulder blades together down the back body. Bring your right knee towards the chest, extension, lift that leg up into the air. Knee towards the chest, then extension, lift. One more time, hold the lift this time, point your leg way up to the sky. Keep your knee pointing to the sky. Bend at your knee so your foot hangs back by your glute. Lift, lift, lift that knee way up as high as you can. Roll your hip open. Then bring that knee to the chest. Slow motion rock your head, heart, and right knee forward towards your hands into a three-limbed plank. Few rocking movements here. Like you're charging your weight forward, charging your knee forward. Then hold it in three-limbed plank. Hold it here. Bring that right knee to the right elbow. Slide it down to the right wrist. Bring it across to the left wrist. Bring it wide to the right side. Send it back up into the air, down dog. 2 more times. Knee to the chest, rock it forward, knee to the elbow, down to the wrist, to the opposite wrist, and then wide to the side. Up into the air, down dog, back to knee to elbow, down to the wrist, to the opposite wrist, wide to the side. Then jump that foot to the outside of the hand. Oh my goodness. Yes. Bring your weight into the opposite hand. Open up your right hand and heart to the right. Bring the right hand to the instep of the right foot. Open up your left hand and heart to the left. Bring it back down to center. Bring that foot to in line with the hip. It was stepped a little bit wide. Bring it to in line with the knee, in line with the hip. Keep that forward weight over the front leg. And see if you can bring your hands up to the knee. Hold it here. If you'd like to, flying lunge, arms forward, thumbs up. And send your left hand back to the left glute. Squeeze that left glute as you come up. Lift the right hand and heart, look up. Squeeze the glute into it. Press into the open hip flexor on the left, that frontal hip area. And back down to neutral, hands on your hips. We're gonna play with this lunge here. So you're gonna let your back arch and your booty go back behind you. And then on the exhale, it's a pelvic thrust into a posterior tilt. So your pubic bone is gonna come up. You're gonna tuck your tail underneath you, back knee soft. And crunch the belly with it. And last one, hold it. Hold it here, hold the tail tucked, crunched belly. Bring your arms up to widespread cactus arms. Keep your tail tucked, keep your booty squeezed, your belly crunched. On the next exhale, keep your lower half just the way it is. Only your head, heart, and hands are gonna turn to the left. Keep your belly tucked. Keep your booty squeezed. Inhale back to the center. Keep your lower half of your body. Don't let it go. On the next exhale to the second side. And back to neutral. Arms down to your hips. Relax your hips back behind you. Straighten out that front leg, straight or straight-ish. Bring your arms wide to a T. Turn your belly and heart to the left. Reach all the way forward over your front hand, all the way towards me, all the way to the front. And then let that hand go down to the leg. Open up your hand and heart to the sky. You can hang on at the foot or the shin if you need a little bit more lift to roll that belly and heart open. Don't bring your arm beyond your body, even if you're super flexible. Soft elbow, soft wrist, arm in line with the heart. Let that top arm help pull you back upright. Draw bend back into the front knee. Really deep bend, sit all the way down into it, and then all the way forward again and down. Roll your belly and heart open. Sit your hips down a little deeper if you can, if you want to. And bring your hand, heart, and head back down to center. Hands on either side of the foot. Wide spread fingers. Grab to the mat on either side of the foot. Lift your foot, but keep your knee there. Lift your foot, but keep your knee there. Bring that knee to the opposite elbow and wide to the side. Opposite elbow, wide to the side. 8 times. Send that foot back. Bring the feet wide, about shoulders distance apart. Bring your right hand to the left shoulder and hold it. Or touch. If you're still building that strength, touch. If you want to hold it, hold it. Shoulders parallel the hips, parallel the mat. Hand back down to the mat. Lower the knees down gently, relax the feet to neutral. Slide the hips back to the heels, child's pose. Pause and notice where and how you felt it on that side. Lift your head and heart to look at the mat between your hands, wide spread fingers. Grab at the mat a little bit wider than shoulders distance. Slide your head and heart low and forward towards your hands as the weight of your heart comes over your hands. Push off of your arms to long straight arms. Tuck your toes under to a high plank. Lower down to your elbows halfway. Hug your elbows to your body. Squeeze your glutes. Shine your head and heart forward and up. Push off the fingers and knuckles. Slide your hips up into the air. Down dog. Lift your tailbone to the sky. Squeeze your shoulder blades down the back body. Bring your left knee to the chest. Extension, lift that leg way up into the air. Knee to chest. Extension, lift. One more time. This time, hold the lift, hold the lift. Keep that leg way up in the air. Point your knee to the sky. Bend at your knee. Let your foot hang back by your glute. Lift, lift, lift that knee up to the sky. Roll your hip open. Lift that knee as high as you can. Let your foot hang. Then bring that knee to the chest and rock. Slow motion rock. Slow and intentional and controlled. Bring your head, heart, and knee forward with the weight towards your fingertips. Then hold it in the three-limbed plank. Bring that left knee to the left elbow. Slide it down to the left wrist. Bring it across to the right wrist. And then wide to the left side. Leg up into the air, down dog. 2 more times. Knee to the elbow. Down to the wrist. To the opposite wrist. Wide to the same side. Up into the air. Same side elbow. Same side wrist. Opposite wrist. Wide to the side. Then jump that foot to the outside of the hand. Bring your weight into the right hand. Open up your left hand and heart to the left. Arms in line with the heart. Think of rolling your heart open, not just your arm. Bring your left hand back down to the instep of the left foot. Open up your right hand and heart to the right. Bring it back down in neutral. Now this foot's a little wide. Find it at neutral, in line with the knee, in line with the hip. Keep your weight forward over that front leg. Bring the hand to the front knee. Deep lunge. If you want to, flying lunge, arms up. Now bring your right hand back to your right glute. Squeeze that right glute as you come up. Lift your left hand and heart. Squeeze your right glute into that open hip flexor, that open frontal hip area on the right. Release the hands down to the hip, and we're going to play with the hips here. Let your booty go back behind you, arch your back. On the exhale, pubic bone up, crunch your belly, squeeze your glutes into it. Keep going. Back knee is soft. Last one, hold it. Hold it here. Crunched belly, squeezed glutes, pubic bone up, low ribs down. Keep those glutes active. The lower body stays the same. Bring the arms up to cactus arms. Inhale at center. On the next exhale, your head, heart, and hands only turn. Keep your lower half of your body controlled, strong and controlled. Inhale back to center and to the second side. Shoulders down and back, elbows lifted, right angle elbows, active fingertips. Back to center. Release the hands down to the hips as you straighten out the front leg. Straight or straight-ish. Arms wide to a T. Turn your belly and heart, and then reach all the way forward through that left hand, all the way forward. Send it down towards the leg, foot, floor, shin, wherever it's comfortable for you. Roll your hand, belly, and heart open to the sky. Wherever you're at, just make sure you don't put direct pressure on the knee joint. Keep your hips in line with your body. Make sure your hips aren't scooching back behind you. Top arm helps pull you back up, arms to a T. Draw bend back into that knee. Sit all the way down into a deep lunge. Then all the way forward through that left hand, down towards the foot, floor, or shin. Or you can rest your elbow above the knee. Roll your belly, heart, and hand up to the sky. See if you can sit your hips down a little bit more if you want to go deeper. And bring your heart and hand back down to facing the mat, facing that front knee. Get into the deep lunge. Wide spread fingers on either side of the foot. Come into your three-limbed plank. Lift the foot. Keep your knee there. Keep your knee there. Bring that knee to the opposite elbow and wide to the side. 8 times. And send that foot back. Bring the feet wide to shoulders distance apart. If you want to lift and hold or tap the lift, left hand to the opposite shoulder. Shoulders parallel the hips, parallel the mat. And bring the hand back down, lower the knees, relax the feet to neutral. Slide the hips back to the heels into child's pose. Notice where and how you felt it on that side. Roll on up to tabletop. You can be on flat hands with wide spread fingers. If you're on flat hands, make sure your index finger is perfect straight line perpendicular to the front of the mat. If you'd like to be on fists, make sure your thumbs are pointing forward and that the weight of your heart is over your index and middle fingers, not over your pinkies. Tuck your toes under. On the next exhale, lift your knees 1 to 3 inches. And hold it, hovering tabletop. Now you can hold it here, or you can touch down and lift, or you can hold it here and pulse the lift. Make sure your back isn't overly rounded, that you've got a nice neutral back body, and that you're just micro pulsing the crunches in the belly. 2% bend at the elbows to strengthen the arms and not tax the ligaments of the elbows. Good job. Make sure your knuckles are flat to the floor and you're grabbing at the mat with your fingers in between the fingers, not the wrists. Variation on hovering tabletop and hovering tabletop bear marches. Lift one hand about 1 to 2 inches. And if you want to, lift the opposite foot 1 to 2 inches. Then switch. You can do hands only, you can do feet only. Keep the body stable. Try not to sway with the shoulders and hips. Last 100 on each side. Just kidding. 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. Lower the knees down. Come on down to lying down on the back body. Bring your knees to your chest. Give yourself a hug. Lift your legs straight up to the sky, arms down at your sides, hug the shoulder blades and palms to the mat for support. Flex and point a couple times. Then reach long through your heels. Feet and knees are hips distance apart, so try to find parallel spacing between your legs. Get your legs as straight as possible, even if they're not straight up over your head. Even if they're not straight up over your head. Get them as straight as you can. On your next exhale, lower your legs 1 to 2/3 of the way until you're balanced on your sacrum or back of the hips, and you have a little curve, little lordotic curve in your low back. Lower your legs 1 to 2/3 of the way, and hold, and breathe, and hold, and relax your face, relax your jaw, relax your neck muscles, and hold. Keep that parallel spacing between your legs. Smooth breathing. We're gonna add some movement. Heel touch the right heel. Exhale, bring it up. Heel touch the left heel. Exhale, bring it up. Keep going. Last one on each side. And hold, 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 hold please. Hold please. Both heels touch. Exhale, lift. Just bring them to that 1 to 2/3 of the way. See if you can keep that arch in your low back, stay balanced on the sacrum. And hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Knees to chest. Then push your legs back to that length. Knees to chest. Push them to that 2/3 of the way. "99, 98, 4, 3, 3, 2, and 1. Knees to chest, give yourself a hug.
Judy.
Let your feet go down.
Oh, I was going to say, you know what's a fun one there, Boo? It's
What's
like
that?
doing little quarter turns each way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, next time.
There's a wall here. Soundproof wall.
Feet are hips distance apart. Find your feet below your knees and then walk them just a little bit away. Arms down at your sides, hug your shoulder blades and palms to the mat for support. Now this is different than a traditional bridge. It's not a big arching bridge. It's a long, strong bridge from knees to chest, as if someone could stand on your frontal hip bones. So on your next exhale, lift your hips a little bit. Crunch your belly, lengthen your low back, squeeze your glutes and inner thighs into a long line. Push off of the heels till you're in a long line from knees to chest. Crunched belly, lengthen low back, squeeze the glutes and inner thighs into it. Lower down. Inhale to prepare. On the exhale, do it all again. Feet hips distance apart. Squeeze those inner thighs. Get them active with the glutes. There it is. Crunch the belly. Crunch the belly. Crunch the belly more than you think. There it is. Slowly lower. One more. This time we're going to hold on the exhale. Hold it here. Every time you exhale, reactivate. Pubic bone up towards your belly button. Low ribs tuck down and in. Shorten the abdominal front. Crunch your belly. Lengthen your low back. Squeeze your glutes and inner thighs. Get ready. On the next inhale, you're going to lower down and relax 1/3 of the way. Little baby drop. On the exhale, squeeze and press. Keep going. Inhale, baby drop. Everything's more fun when it's baby size, right? Exhale, press. Keep going. Last one. And unilateral, one side at a time. On the next inhale, baby drop the right hip. Exhale, press that right hip. Then left hip, alternating. Last two on each side. And lower it back down. Lengthen your right leg to the floor. Keep the left knee bent. Inhale to prepare. Hug your palms, hug your shoulder blades. On the next exhale, push into your heels, squeeze your glutes, lift your hips and lift your right leg with it. So that legs are parallel in the thighs. Lower down. One more time. Inhale to prepare. On the exhale, lift. Push off of your triceps, push off of your palms, shoulder blades, heel, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the hamstrings. And lower, back, down. Second side, bend the right knee, lengthen the left leg. Inhale to prepare. On the exhale, lift. Hold it. Squeeze those glutes into the lift. Lift the hips, lift the hips. And lower it back down. One more time on the exhale. And lower back down. Bend both knees, inhale to prepare. On the exhale, lift the hips. Squeeze the belly, crunch the belly, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the inner thighs. Keep your heels dug in. Lift your entire feet except for your heels on the exhale. Dig your heels in and squeeze your glutes, squeeze your inner thighs. Get those inner thighs working. And lower the feet back down. Exhale, lift the feet. Keep going to 8. Lower back down.
Are they still supposed to be further out than knee distance, or?
About, yeah.
Knees to your chest, hug your knees to your chest, hang on at the top of your shins, bent elbows, toes pointed to the sky. On your next exhale, spinal rock up to seated. Hi-ya. One more time. Rock it back. Exhale up. Find that balancing point on your glutes, feet floating in the air. Now this is a great place to stay. Parallel space between your feet and knees, hips distance apart. There we go. If you want to, you can place your hands back behind you or keep your hands lifted as you wish. Hands lifted is a little harder. Ready? On the next inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knees to heart. Keep the parallel space between your legs. Think of a pulley between your inner thighs, bringing to your heart. 24, 23, 2, 2, and 1.
More than I thought I could do.
Yes. That's what it's all about. All right, bring your legs around back behind you. Come back to tabletop. Come on down to forearms. Interlace your fingers, hug your hands together for support. Step your feet back, toes tucked under forearm plank. Keep your hips nice and low, but don't let them drop. Crunched belly, no arched back, nice neutral back. On your exhale, you're gonna rock your heart out. So on the exhale, rock your heart forward to your hands. Long line from heels to top of the head. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the knees down. Slide the hips to the heels. Yay for quarantine yoga?
Let's do this again.
All right, come on back to forearms. Forearms tabletop. So in forearm tabletop, it's especially easy to arch your back and drop your belly. That's what we don't want. So think of that crunched belly, low ribs down and in, pubic bone up just a little bit towards your belly button. Not a round back, but a lengthened back with a crunched belly. Good. So now you're gonna lift your left leg up into the air. Point your toes like a drawing tool. Keep your hips parallel to the mat as you control, draw big circles. Keep your hips parallel. Try not to let your body move. Strong, stable torso. Switch directions. And pause. Neutral foot, so you're reaching long through the heel, toes point to the floor, hips parallel to the floor, lift through the heel 8 times. And bring that leg back. Second side. Crunched belly, neutral back. Lift your right leg, point your toes like a drawing tool, hips parallel the floor, strong controlled body as you draw some circles. Then switch directions. And bring it to a pause. Neutral ankle, so reach long through the heel, toes point to the sky. 8 times pulse the lift, controlled body. And bring it back. Lengthen your arms forward, lower your heart down to the mat, puppy stretch. Puppy stretch or half dog. You can bring one cheek to the mat or the other cheek or the forehead or the chin, whatever feels comfortable to you. You also have the option to bend at the elbows or one elbow, or be playful, explore what feels good for your yoga practice. Slide forward onto the belly. Release the forearms forward, elbows start below the shoulders, but you can move them forward if that's too much lift for your low back, or closer to your body if you want more lift. Find what's right for you and relax everything else. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears, shine your heart forward. Activate what you need, soften everything else. Roll over onto your side. Use your hands to help the body come upright to seated. So for this next one, make sure you're staggered from your neighbor. Bring the soles of the feet together. You're going to have to turn sideways.
Is this prep for flying pigeon?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just go sideways.
Yeah. Go sideways. Soles of the feet together. Bring your weight into your left leg, hands on either side of your left knee. Hands on either side of the left knee. So now your right foot is standing, right knee points to the sky. Reach long through your right leg. And then pulse through the outer heel, toes forward. Bring it back. 8 times. Reach long, pulse. And back. And then second side, hands on either side of the right knee, left foot to standing, left knee points to the sky. And reach long and pulse. 8 times. And then back to neutral seated. Right hand to the crooks of your right hip. Left arm becomes a kickstand. Adjust that kickstand as needed. So you're going to push your right knee towards the floor, but turn your belly and heart towards the right knee, not away from it, towards the right knee. And then lift your waist up out of your hip, lift your heart. Again, adjust that kickstand as needed to be comfortable on the shoulder joint. Head and neck in line with the body. Second side. Drop the left knee down, push down with the left hand, right arm as a kickstand. Turn your belly and heart towards the drop knee, not away from it. Lift your waist up out of your hip, lift your heart, head and neck in line with the body. Try not to be crunchy anywhere. And bring it back to seated center. Feet out in front of you. You come back to facing forward. Wide feet, hands at the top of each respective shin, feet on the floor. Seated cat-cow. On the inhale, tip your pubic bone down to the mat so it's a forward tilt in the hips. Pop your belly forward, lift your face and heart. Shoulders down the back body. On the exhale, roll back to your glutes, tuck your belly and heart in, bow your face to the chest. Keep flowing with the breath. Last one. And lengthen the legs out in front of you, hands at either sides of the hips. Lift and shift your hips. Reach the arms up overhead with the breath in. Reach tall, lift the waist, heart, and hands. And on the exhale, gently round down. Without pulling or reaching, relax your arms to the sides of the legs. Relax the head, neck, and shoulders. Tuck the chin slightly towards the throat to lengthen the back of the neck in line with the back body. And if you need more stretch, reach with the top of your head. The crown reaches towards the feet. Keep that long arcing spine from tailbone to skull in alignment. No dropping of the neck or crunching in the neck or shoulders. Slightly tucked chin. And slowly roll back up. And let yourself roll all the way back to lying down. Let the limbs come into any position that calls to you right now. Notice how you feel now in comparison to when you got here. The overall quality of energy, mind, sensations. Do you create any new mind-body connections? Any new experiences? What's the energetic signature of this practice for your being here now? This is a practice to come home to. Invite gratitude into your heart for making this time and space to explore your practice and show up for yourself where you're at right now on your journey of practice is perfect. As you feel ready, invite movement back into the body. Maybe you start to reach or bend or stretch in any way that feels good. And when you're ready, bring bent knees towards you, then roll over onto one side and use your hands to come up to seated. We'll close this practice bringing hands into prayer position in front of the heart. In Kripalu we say Jai Bhagwan, which is just like Namaste. It means the divine in me honors and appreciates the divine in you. So I bow to all of you and say Jai Bhagwan. Thank you guys so much for having me over for yoga. I love you all. Thank you, thank you.